Finally this morning, the University of Maryland Extension Program taking on healthy eating on a budget. It's possible, and nutrition educator from University of Maryland Extension, Drudy Patel, joins me with some details on how you can get it done. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being with us. Two very important things, healthy eating and budget. So tell us where we start, like even when we go shopping, what's the first things we should focus in on?
The first focus should be what is healthy and what is not so healthy. So as we all know that in the United States, it's one of the very big problems with the eating is that we are not having enough fruits and vegetables in our diet. The second important thing is consuming more lean meats like poultry, seafood, which are very high in good kind of proteins and very low in saturated fats and cholesterol.
Okay.
And the third thing is having more complex carbohydrates by having more whole grain products.
Now, you mentioned fruits and vegetables, and I know you and I have talked before. There's the fresh, there's the canned, there's the organic, is it make a difference? Can I buy canned string beans and feel like I'm getting just as much nutrition as I would if I were to get them fresh or frozen?
Yes, you can actually.
All right.
Well, the thing is, whenever they process any produce for canning or the freezing, they are picking the product in its peak harvest season.
Okay.
Right? So basically, you are getting and capturing the fruit or vegetable in its most nutritive dense state.
Okay.
And you're capturing them and you're processing and storing them in the same state. That's why it's all right to have canned and frozen products.
That's good information because
Right.
people sometimes have, myself included, kind of shied away.
Right.
And I know a lot of times it's because of sodium and different things that are in
Right.
there, right?
And you actually bring about a good point. Sodium and sugar is one of the
Okay.
things that you need to be very much careful about while buying these products. Most like in the canned products, you'll see very high sodium content. Or like if you're getting canned fruits, they are very heavy in syrups or corn syrups, right? So you don't want that.
Right.
Try to get fruits, canned fruits that are maybe processed in their own juices or just water.
Okay.
Okay, and if you're going for the vegetables, try to get the low sodium or no sodium alternative.
Okay, now
Right.
talk a little bit about you mentioned the lean meats and the fishes.
Right.
Anything better than others, or we really just want to watch that we're getting lean cuts?
Right. Well, the first thing is about the lean meats, which is poultry, your turkey, your chicken, your seafood. They're all very good in omega-3s and 6s.
She did not mention that 18-ounce porterhouse steak that and this is not a campaign against steak, but you do
Right.
want to limit that kind of, the red meat and the
Right.
beef. The body, it's harder to process. This is just stuff this is me talking, just it's harder for me to process that stuff.
Right. However, you can also enjoy the red meats. The only thing you have to look on the label is that you're getting lean cuts.
Okay.
Or like if you are getting ground beef, for
Okay.
example, try to get the product that has a lower fat content. You'll be able to see that on the packaging itself, like 10% fat or 20% fat. Try to go for the lower version, and that's how you can still enjoy your red meat.
And you'll miss some of the grease in the pot from the ground beef, but that's okay. That's the whole point of being a little leaner.
Well, that actually opens up a door to become a great chef and try to add some herbs and some seasoning and make it
there
interesting.
you go. Now,
So-
you mentioned the carbohydrates and some of the pastas or the beans. And what should we be eating in that category?
The thing that you can eat from the complex carbohydrates is whole grains.
Okay.
They are very abundant in fiber.
Okay.
And fiber is a very important nutrient. So many researchers have proved the fact that it helps you reduce cholesterol, the blood pressure. So basically, it's very beneficial to us. So whole grains are one of the sources of that.
Okay.
So try to go for products like oats, whole oats, like whole wheat bread, whole grain cereals. But again, with cereals, the problem happens is the sugar content in it. So look in the label, like what exactly it says.
Okay.
In the sugar and in the carbohydrate side of the box.
Now, was that you, Drudy, telling me to be careful, like to really read the label, because some things will pretend to be whole grain and it's kind of fake whole grain. If that, you didn't say that, but you were saying we really do. You emphasized when we were talking off camera to look at that label.
Right. Well, it happens more with the grain products like breads or cereals. So you see the beautiful, marketing statement saying it's a whole grain product and it's good for you. It may not be all the time. The best way to analyze that is to look at the nutritive label. There's a segment called as ingredients, and they put up all the information about all the ingredients present in that product. So if the first product says whole grain or 100% whole wheat, something like that, then it's a whole grain product. If it says unbleached or stone ground or enriched, it doesn't have to be whole grain. So the first ingredient is very important. That's a key factor.
And if it says something that you can't even pronounce, put it back on the shelf. Trust me, this is not something you want in your basket.
Right.
So, okay, these are very good tips, very good information. The budget part, though, because, you know, sometimes you go to the produce aisle or you go to the meat aisle. I will skip the meat aisle sometimes if I'm trying to pull the purse strings a little bit. How do we do this on a budget? Any tips as to what we can be doing or looking for?
Okay. The first thing is that, especially with the fresh produce, because most of the times people ask me, how can I eat healthy and eat fresh produce if it's so expensive? Best way to do, just like I discussed, get the canned product or get the frozen.
Okay.
It is equally nutritious, and sometimes actually it's even more nutritious than the fresh products. So try to go for the low sodium, low sugar options. You can still enjoy your produce and you can still have low calorie foods in your diet. With the meat, you can try the canned option, look for the fat and the salt content in it. So that's very important. Try to get benefits with the rewards the stores have. You know, take the coupons, use them, and if you can, buy the bulk. You know, it's always easier. One very important factor, though, is checking unit price. It will always be there
on the card,
right? It's that small yellow tab you will see on the label. That's what you have to keep track of and compare the prices.
All right, so hopefully this has been helpful. I know it has for me because I have really been steering one way, thinking one thing is better than the other, but it sounds like we do have options and options that can help us save a few cents here and there. So thank you so much, Drudy, my in-house nutrition educator from University of Maryland Extension. We really do appreciate you sharing that with us this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Give us a website if people want to maybe get more information or see this again or talk to you.
Well, you can actually talk to us through extension.ume.edu. That's our website, and if you would like to contact me, it's 410-749-6141.
Thank you so much for being with us this morning. All right, and thank you for watching Good Things Delmarva. Remember, catch us here every Sunday morning. If you have good things to share, email me at lanita_wesson@wmdt.com. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful day.